Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. This is another review for Queen Sugar, Season 5, Episode 2. Ralph Angel and Darla, they are, in the basking in all the love. They're about to get married. And I just love every time we see a scene with Darla and Ralph Angel, we get that soft music in the background. It puts you in a, make me feel all tingly inside. Like, I just love it. It's just like, I love them. I didn't at first, but I'm here for it now. They're choosing invitations. They getting the invitations, thank you cards, engagement party invites, all of that in one. And they trying to, pick and choose what they're going to get, because he's going to give her the wedding of her dreams. And, she asked him, well, since you're giving me the wedding of my dreams, where do you want to go, to honeymoon? And he thinks about it, He's like, well, I kind of want to go to New York City. I never been to one of them fancy Broadway theaters. And so she says, okay. I mean, and that's a cool honeymoon spot, especially for somebody like Ralph Angel, who ain't left the state of Louisiana, let alone St. Joe. So I'm glad that he gonna get to go to New York. She don't want him to worry about the eminent domain or nothing like that. And he said he ain't worrying. He said we get to choose how we deal with things, and I'm choosing peace and joy and happiness and all that kind of stuff. We ain't even thinking about them folks. So then we see Charlie. She's at Parker's office, and she's there for a meeting, and the secretary is like, well, she's cleared her books. She don't have no meetings today, so sorry, girl. And Charlie's looking at her like, she said, well, I mean, you can wait while we sort this all out. Charlie says, listen, my time is just as important as Parker's. The appointment was for right now. This here is substandard, and I want you to pass that message along. Pass that message along. I be talking too fast. And my teeth be getting in the way. Anyway, she leaves after that. Charlie just tips off. Then we see Nova. She's at the house, and Charlie calls her, to fill her in that Parker wasn't even there, so she didn't get to meet with her. And Nova's like, cool. Well, I mean, you got time for, a self-care day? You want to go get, your nails done, a pedicure? What you want to do? Charlie says, well, I'm going to probably be down to the office doing my, my work, my duties, my councilwoman duties. So she don't have time to do no self-care, nothing. And then Nova was like, well, okay, cool. Well, can you counsel me right quick? Because I need some advice. Nova is about to go meet Calvin's family. She going to the party, to his grandfather's birthday party. And she's worried about, how that's going to go down. And Charlie just tells her, girl, go up in that thing and be the queen that you always are. Do what you're supposed to do, sis. Don't even worry about them people. Be you, and they gonna have to like you, or oh well. Then we see Mr. Prosper, and y'all, I do not have time for what they're trying to lead up to with Mr. Prosper. Mr. Prosper can make it through. Don't do it. I feel like these writers are about to take us down we about to kill Mr. Prosper road. And I don't want to go down that wrong road. Wrong road. I don't want to go down that road. I want Mr. Prosper to make it through like the rest of them. But I've seen in the previews, the trailer for the whole season. We have already seen, guys, I'm sorry if you hear Stanley the Steamer outside, because they just cranked up the thing. So I'm sorry if y'all hear them in any way, in any time in this video. But anyway, Mr. Prosper, he can pull through if he get the COVID, because that's where we're going with this. But I don't like it. I already get the feeling that we're going to lose him. And I'm going to be sad. I was tearing up. I was tearing up already. But he helping Hollywood with some boxes. And, he's looking tired and worn out. And, Hollywood, first of all, he tells him, he's been following all the reports on the, the coronavirus cases and, that sort of thing. It's not it's not made its way to Louisiana yet, and so he's worried, and he knows that it's taking out the elderly, and he cannot. He cannot. And then, he tells him, some old stories about, the boom boom rooms that they used to, kick it in back when he was running the town. And he's happy that Hollywood is opening this place for the people, because they need it. Everybody need a place to just release, and especially us. I don't know about y'all, but even when me and Tim travel, we be making sure we go to the black places. I remember being in Key West, and we know where to go, but we made sure to find some of us. No, we weren't we were in Puerto Rico. I can't remember where we were, but we were somewhere where it was slim to none chances you was gonna find an establishment where we was at. And so we had to look high and low, and we ended up finding somewhere. But saying all that to say, Mr. Prosper is happy about there being a place in St. Joe for everybody to go kick it. And they got, they putting up books, get you a little lesson in, get you some reading in, some learning in while you here with your drinks. Hopefully they're going to have some good food too. Blue and Darla, they on the porch playing chess. Darla pulls Ralph Angel to the side, and she tells him that she may be up for a promotion. Moving on. Charlie, she's talking to Tariq at the airport, whoever that is, trying to figure out where Parker is, what her travel arrangements were. And, he fills her in on that. He's happy to do it because ain't nothing going on at the airport. And Charlie is like, well, why ain't nothing going on at the airport? And here we go. Oh, well, it's because everybody's, scared to travel, due to the coronavirus. So this is new. It's about to get real though. Charlie, she's looking nervous. Charlie gets a call from Micah, and Micah, is inviting her out to homecoming, making sure she is coming to homecoming. It's homecoming, and he's at Xavier, I believe. I think he's at Xavier, but it's homecoming, and he tells her, meet me on the quad. And when he says that, I immediately was like, oh, he about to invite them to the probate. Don't y'all miss them days? Like when I like my story time, I'm sorry guys. It just is what it is. When I think like my freshman year, sophomore year, eventually they stopped doing the probates out on the quad, and I was like, that's whack. That's not college like. I know we got this little fancy building built, but we ain't got to have all our events over there. Like, keep it traditional. Quad, gym. Our gym was so small, and it used to be packed out. You had to get there early if you wanted to see your friend come out. So I knew it was a probate. When he didn't want to meet at the dorm, he gave her some excuse about it being messy, his roommate being messy, and he don't want her to see that. So meet me over there at the quad by the pseudo kappa tree. Then we see Nova and Calvin. They're at the party. She meets his mother, Julia. And Julia, oh, she's so beautiful. You didn't tell me she was this beautiful. She's nice. Okay. We get past Julia. Then they find Grandpa. And he introduces, her to Grandpa, and she gives him gifts. She gives him with a real, well-aged bottle of scotch, and he's happy about that. Okay, thank you, girl. Thank you. I'll take it. That's what I like. Then his daughter runs up, and now we have to introduce her, and she's sweet, she gives her a necklace. Well, he gives her a necklace that was picked out by Nova, and she loves it. I like your dress. I like your dress too. And she lets her put the necklace on her, and Mama over there looking, looking proud or whatever. She's like, okay. First, I didn't know what to take on her facial expressions, because at first she was looking like, who is this bitch over here with my granddaughter? Then she was smiling. Then she was looking confused again. I guess it was worry. I don't know. I don't know what Mama was trying to give. We see Charlie at Ralph Angels, she's helping Darla with her interviewing skills, and she gives her some good advice. She's like, you go up in there, listen, them people need you. They came looking for you, and so when they called you, you show them how much they need you. So, like, they called me. Y'all remember that episode of Martin? They called me. That's how you got to go up in the interview. Y'all called me. Period. Hollywood calls Ralph Angel to see where he is, because he's supposed to be down at the Boom Boom Room helping them, get ready for the grand opening. And Ralph Angel's like, did you call your brother? And he's like, I thought I just did. No, your white brother. Oh, okay, so you got jokes. He talking about Calvin, since that's their brother-in-law. He ain't call him, no, of course. And he's, no, wait. Okay. I had to make sure, because I'm trying to stay on these notes and not forget nothing. But anyway, back at the Boom Boom Room, she ends up gifting Hollywood with the sign for their place, and the name of the place is called The Real Spot. We still gonna call it the Boom Boom Room. She pulls out a bottle of wine, and I'm assuming it's the bottle of wine from their first date, because he's all, oh my God, you were a girl. I remember that. Look how far we've come. So they toast to the future. Charlie, she down at the school on the quad, just walking through with Micah's girlfriend. I think her name Keisha. But they walking on the quad, and she's like, oh, I see my friend over there at the smoothie kiosk, or whatever you call it, smoothie stand. And so, do you want a smoothie? I'm finna go over there and see about that. She's like, oh no, go ahead. She go, walking around to where she's supposed to meet Micah. And she sees, these boys, the pseudo kappas, start popping out, making all this noise, getting everybody to come to the area, because they about to introduce, the folks that was online. So Charlie's like, okay, I can sit and do this. While we wait on Micah, because she asked Davis, Davis is there signing autographs, doing his thing. And she asked Davis, did you talk to Micah? He's like, no, he said, we, meet him over here. She said, I'm going to text him. So she get to texting, meanwhile, looking at the boys, come out. And the ace comes out, and she's like, okay, congratulations. Good job. Congratulations. Go you. Then the number 2, Showtime pop out, take that mask off. And it's Micah. She was looking like, now I know you ain't just been on a whole line and ain't told your mama. Davis is in the back like, like, good job. I'm so glad you did that, son. It ain't his frat, but he's still glad he did it. Micah, afterwards is looking for, his girl, and he sees her over there at the smoothie stand, kikiing with her friend. We don't know his name yet, but we know his name, Darnell. With Darnell from her art history class. And he's looking like, oh, okay. So I'ma just hop on in here in the mess with the frat boys and the groupies and the skins. It's always a nice group of them girls that are always at all the probates. They're at all the parties. Like they run with the fraternity. Know what that's about. But anyway, that's what Michael was getting into. Calvin introduces Nova to his son, and his son just looking at her like, hey. And he turned around and walk away. So he's not gonna be easy to, win over. He give her the look that only white people give black people, Calvin's ex-wife shows up, and Nova's like, is that your ex-wife? Now, you ain't say she was gonna be here. I didn't come here for this. That lady hightail it over there to Nova. And, oh, so you're Nova. It's nice to meet you. So how does it feel being the mistress, being the other woman? Nova's like, girl, I don't have this to do today. I'm not doing this today. So let's go, Calvin. Calvin is, he ready to leave too, and she's still going, oh yeah, go ahead and leave with her. Go ahead and leave with her. I mean, she's just your type. I mean, she's not as dark as the other ones, you know, because it's darker the better with you, huh? And Nova's looking like, say what? And then she step in front, and she telling Nova, you a lot thinner than the other ones because, you know, he usually likes them with the real big, round, thick behind, you know, popping out, poking out. And Nova's like, watch yourself, Hailey. Watch yourself. You getting a little bit too descriptive and a little bit too, watch it. And Calvin steps in. He's like, you know what? Because she tells her, you ain't the only one. You ain't going to be the only one. You the first, but you ain't going to be the last. Because he got a thing for black girls. And he tells her, nah, this is it. She it for me. I ain't never loved none of them. I was passing time until she would have me. And now she's willing to take me. So that's just what it is. I love this woman. Now you have a good day. And he walk on out with Nova. They, you know, going on out. Nova handled that a lot better than I would have. See that? Let me just keep on with the with the review. Charlie and Micah, they sitting in the room talking, and she brought him a few things, and it's like a few different things. He's like, so is this your passive aggressive way of saying you don't know me no more, like you don't know what I like? And she's like, well, I mean, I don't. You pledging a whole fraternity and ain't nobody like, and then she don't like the fraternity that he pledged. Apparently, she's like, they're not thugs, so I guess they have a reputation to be, you know, them boys. And she's like, why didn't you pledge your dad's fraternity? Like they have a reputation of, you know, graduating scholars, you know, presidents, you know, politicians, people who gonna do something. And he's like, yeah, I went over there, but they wouldn't have me. You ain't talk to your dad? I ain't going to him. These folks took me and they, you know, that's it. Them my brothers. I'm a part of this fraternity. Take it, girl. You got to just deal. You gonna deal. And she says, well, you know what? You're right. Because he's like, I ain't got to check in with you and get your permission to do anything, lady. Like I'm a little boy with every little decision I have to make. We're not doing that no more, Mom. And she says, okay, I just have to respect your boundaries. And from here on out, I'll do that. We see Nova and Calvin. They are walking, and she just flat out asks him, so do you have a fetish for black women? Like, how many black women have you been with? Because he said a few. He says it ain't no fetish. It ain't nothing like that. And, you know, reassures her again, and, you know, they good. Micah checks in with Keisha. She's, you know, he's like, I hope you, you know, weren't offended by, you know, all of that hoopla, you know, all of that debauchery, all of that fooling around I was doing over there on the quad with them other girls. You know, it's nothing like that. And she's like, I ain't thinking about them girls. And he said, so that guy you was talking to at the smoothie stand, who that? And she's like, oh, that's Darnell. We got a class together. What class? Art history. I would have been like, damn, are you gonna get in the class? Like, you gonna be at the class every day? You gonna walk me to this class every day? What class? What you mean? What does that matter? Like, she would be lying about that. Anyway, I don't know, Micah's, he's changing on us. His disposition is very, I don't know, something up with Micah. And I'm sure it's gonna, you know, unravel as the season progresses. Ralph, Angela, and Darla, they in the car, and of course they hear on the radio too. They listening. He turned it off, of course, because he don't want to hear it. They talking about the coronavirus cases. He think it's all a hoax, and the media is, you know, making it bigger than it needs to be. And he's just like a lot of people out here thinking it's just like that president, the last one, talking about his fake news. But you know, Darla's, you know, worried about the elderly, and she's like, I hope it don't hit St. Joe. Like, we have a lot of elderly here, you know, Mr. Prosper, you know, Vi. Like, we have to keep our people safe, so hopefully it doesn't hit us. Darla, we see her getting ready for her interview. She's, you know, doing her breathing exercises. She's, you know, reciting everything that Charlie taught her, you know, with their conversation. And Ralph Angel is looking on, behind her. He reassures her, girl, you gonna get this. You got this. You got this. Don't even worry about it. Charlie, she's on the line with somebody. I guess they having a councilwoman, excuse me. She's a councilwoman. But I guess they having some type of conference call, with the leaders I guess of each parish. And they running down all of the COVID situations and what they need to do to prepare, how they can keep their city safe. Now it's about to be, the shutdown part of the pandemic, when we first had to close everything down and businesses were just shut down, and it was really just essential stuff like the grocery store, and that's it. Small businesses, suffered in that time of all of this that we dealing with now. Hollywood takes Aunt Vi on the reenactment of their first date. And they talk about how they met and whatever, and they about kissing and cuddly and all of that. And then Vi gets a call from Charlie. Charlie got to run down everything she just heard on her conference call with the folk, and she's just getting them up to speed and warning them about everything that's happening. Meanwhile, everybody else is watching the news and seeing it. It's serious. Next thing we see, Aunt Vi closing, Aunt Vi's Pies and Diner, I think that's the name of her place, but she's closing, and she say, we'll be back. Oh Lord, what we gonna do? What Aunt Vi gonna do? Her business is closed. Hollywood was about to open the Boom Boom Room. Now they can't do that because the people got to quarantine. It's about to be bad. It's about to be bad, and we about to relive it all over again here in fictional TV world. Anyway, y'all, that was it for Queen Sugar. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.